It's electric football. It's week what?
Week 3. Or week 3-0, as they say in Miami.
Well, it's actually week 4 we're going to be talking about because you're 3-0. It's amazing. Might be wondering why the Browns Chris Spielman thing. First off, because the Browns won one for the first time since 2016.
As we both predicted.
Second off, because Spielman is on the nomination list for the Hall of Fame, and I'd like to make a quick rant. If your job was to just tackle ball carriers behind the line of scrimmage often, that's what he did. Goal line stands, nobody better. Him and Zach Thomas both deserve Hall of Fame. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
You know, he didn't get the sexy stats, the sacks from the outside rushes, but your job as a defender is to stop the other team from moving the ball forward.
That's
Very,
exactly what he did.
Very few people did it better than Chris Spielman.
All right, your team's up first.
Vikings at the Rams. We're going to get our asses kicked. We shit the bed against the freaking Bills. Unbelievable.
I don't know what happened.
I was at my kid's soccer game, and I kept looking down going, this can't be right. Impossible. I was listening to the pregame show, and the guys were laughing like, the Bills can't even score on the Vikings. Well, I guess they can. Josh Allen became Ronaldo Nehemiah Allen jumping over people. Craziness. Everson Griffin is evidently having like a mental breakdown. They shelved him for the last game, and I didn't know why. I even think I said, and Griffin is out with a what? I don't know. He either threatened to shoot people in the hotel lobby in Minnesota, or he broke into a teammate's apartment. I'm not even clear on what's going on, but
so Supreme Court nominee.
The hope is that he gets his... No, I mean, all joking aside, if the guy's really going through problems like that, the hope is he gets everything together.
Well, that was the statement from the team. It's like, listen, football aside, we got to get this guy healthy. Yep. I hope they do.
And our only hope against the Rams, who are perhaps the best or second best team in football right now, is they have some injuries in the secondary. Talib and Peters are both out. So maybe Cousins can get it back. Maybe we could move the ball against them. But I'm taking the Rams at home against the Vikings on a short week, coming off of a crappy performance.
Yeah, the Rams are like number one in almost every defensive and offensive category. You couldn't rush for 20 yards against the Bills. That's not going to cut it. I'm taking the Rams.
Jets at the Jaguars. And wow, that's cold and good. Props to Pete.
Pete Macaluso with the pour.
Who pours a much better beer than Stu, I got to tell you. Anyway. Jets at Jaguars. I was wrong. Blake Bortles did not turn a corner. Every once in a while, he fakes you out.
Nope.
And you think he has, but he has not. But that's not going to matter. Calais Campbell is basically going to insert himself in Sam Darnold's jersey and run around with the ball as if he's the quarterback of the Jets, suffocating Jags D against a rookie quarterback who's having some shaky performances now. I'm taking the Jags at home.
Yeah, this is the Jets' second game on the road. They stuck up the joint against Cleveland, and the Jags did the same thing against the Titans. Teams are evenly matched on offense and defense. The difference will be the quarterback play. Bortles goes from superstar to also ran in 1 week. Fournette's status, don't know if he's playing yet, needs to return. Darnold is a rookie with a lot of upside, and I think he's got a future. It's just not this game. This is a 1-point game. I think the Jags prevail.
You think it's a 1-point game? I think the Jags win it by a lot more than that.
I don't. After that last week.
Dolphins at the Patriots. Go ahead, Stu.
All right. Well, the Finns took a huge hit with the injury to Harris. Trying to avoid landing on the quarterback, blows out his ACL when typically he would have just landed on him and probably...
Typically he would have blown out the quarterback's ACL.
And that's fine with me. It was the Raiders. Anyway, and then we lost Andre Branch with an injury. He should be okay, but maybe not this week. And now we're scouring the wires for defensive ends. Pats find themselves in the most unusual place of being 2 games behind the Dolphins after losses to Detroit and the Jags, and our Patriots fan just walked in. I don't think the Patriots lose 3 in a row. I'm taking the Patriots.
Tim Murray, everybody. Tim Murray.
Resident Patriots
Hello,
fan.
everybody. That's right. Look, Flying Elvis. All right. I got one thing to say. F you, Roger Goodell.
Well, that was one thing.
I know.
Thank you, Tim. Next.
Yes. Hi, have a good night. No, Patriots are going to be fine. Eventually, they'll find their feet underneath them, and they will, worst case scenario, 14-2.
As long as they're not perfect.
I'm going to give you 14-3. I'm taking the Dolphins. I said last week I'm sticking with the 3-0 teams, and the Dolphins' wins are over the Titans, the Jets, and the Raiders. Maybe not as impressive as we might have thought.
Okay, however,
go ahead.
Dolphins beat Jets, Jets beat Detroit. Detroit beat New England.
What is that? The inverse proportional theory of mathematics?
So what you're
I'm-
saying is Big Boy Caprice was killed by
We've
Mumbles,
already beaten
the
the
kid, and,
we've already beaten the
Flat
Patriots.
Top,
That's
and then
how
Dick
that was
Tracy
the math.
Killed everybody.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
It's linear.
I believe
Oh,
that
sure.
the Patriots will get some team speed back with Edelman, and if they can get Gordon going in the offense. But right now they do look old and slow.
Yeah, they do. And when I heard that Josh Gordon was coming to the Patriots, I thought they said Jeff Gordon. I said, why the hell would he stop driving?
Well,
you
he'd
know?
be fast.
Yes. Go fast, turn left. Go fast, turn left. That's what you do in NASCAR.
Button hook.
Yeah, exactly.
Eagles at the Titans, and what do we got? Blaine Mariota. We got Marcus
Gabbert's
Gabbert.
out with the concussion, so you're not going to see him.
All right, so is it Mariota? Is that the
Yeah, and his arm is still kind of numb from the Dolphin game.
just
So
sort of hanging there. So I don't see the Titans reaching double digits against the Eagles. Wentz is back, got a game under the knee, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Eagles on the road.
I'm taking the Eagles only because on paper they're a better team. So that's who I'm taking. I literally think this is a close game. The Eagles have looked not Super Bowl championish.
Thank God.
And I think the Titans' defense is better than what they showed again in the first two games, as they showed against the Jaguars. I'm taking the Eagles by 1 here.
Eagles by 3 for all the same reasons.
All right.
All right. Houston at the Colts, and Andrew Luck ain't right. He was dinking and dunking. He had like 15 completions for like 20 yards. It's ridiculous. They took him out so that they could throw the Hail Mary with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
That tells you the man isn't healthy. He wasn't healthy all of last year. He did the, what was it, snowmobiling, extreme helicoptering. He was doing something, snowboarding. And J.J. Watt ate up the Giants' Wheeler. 3 sacks, I believe, forced fumble, all that. Going against a bad Colts offensive line, I'm going to take Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt. I'm taking the Texans.
All right. Well, the Colts kept a pretty close road game. Granted, it was pouring rain in Philadelphia, and Luck fell down as time expired, close to the goal. I mean, they were in the red zone, and he got a little tripped up, and because he's a big Cro-Magnon, he just couldn't stay standing up, and that's the problem with big fat white guys as quarterback.
The neck beard couldn't keep him aloft.
So I'm flipping a coin here. I'm
Beard.
taking the Colts to win at home. Texans had a stinker of a game against the Giants, and that says a lot to me. And if they can't beat the Giants, well, I'm taking the Colts.
Tim?
Colts.
Okay. Bills at Green Bay, and this is actually a much tougher game. All of these young quarterbacks have now gotten in. Darnold, Allen, Rosen is in, so that we got both Joshes going. Mayfield. And Lamar Jackson has got to be sitting there going like, why not me? Why am I behind this Flacco guy? But it's good. It's a little different coming in as the relief pitcher in a game, versus starting. And Green Bay planning for. Free Clay Matthews, by the way. How many bad penalties can you call on the guy?
He's supposed to tackle someone like Darth Vader with his mind only. I will get you.
Sack.
It's going to be like tie your hands behind your back as a defender because that's about all you can do at this point.
For apples.
So I did not expect the Bills to do what they did last week. I do not expect them to win at Green Bay, even if Rodgers is, hobbling around and half the man he used to be. I'm taking the Packers.
Well, the Bills pretty much ruined millions of people's suicide pools on Sunday by thrashing the Vikings. And the Packers couldn't keep up with, wait for it, Washington. How does that happen? Washington was a dog a week ago, and here they are, rattling the freaking Packers here. Weird season. I expect the Packers to win. Josh Allen played well, but it's a little early to
anoint him.
Yeah, that was a game that just went so south for the Vikings. I'm not counting that as him actually having done anything well here. Taking the Packers.
The Bills are the schlep rock of the AFC East. They will remain that way for a long time.
Okay.
If Aaron Rodgers was on fire and being eaten by a dinosaur, he would still beat the Bills.
Film at 11.
Lions.
There's something to look forward to, huh, folks?
Lions at Cowboys. Offensive weapons, go to the Lions. Patricia, beat his mentor, and perhaps the Lions are going to buy in now. Cowboys lose Sean Lee again, which is the heart and soul of their defense. It's fun to watch the Cowboys struggle. It just is. They have.
You'd make a great lifeguard.
Not if Jerry Jones.
What is it, Cowboys?
Help me! Can't swim. Too drunk. Can't swim.
Throw him a lifesaver.
Help me!
I thought I built this lake shallower.
Trying to swim in a pool of Johnny Walker Blue. Got drunk.
That's good
Going
stuff.
down for the 5th time.
The dirt Nile.
We he got out 4 times, dove back in.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so I'm taking the Lions.
Another head scratcher here. The Lions took it to the Pats, but they absolutely had the advantage of Patricia on the sideline coaching them. Cowboys have just been awful, as have the Lions. Dak is just leading the league in disappointment. Des Bryant, he's got to be laughing, man. He's got to, oh, you're really good without me, right?
But he's not laughing that hard because nobody picked his ass up.
I know.
I think he's playing
But the
Jake with
Cowboys are
Colin
missing him.
Kaepernick right now.
However, it's in a dome, and I'm going to take the Lions to win here just because I think they have the better offense.
Tim?
Let me just say this about that. I will take the hit for the Patriots this year to see the Lions and the Browns beat the shit out of everybody in the NFL. Okay? All family business will be settled by the end of 5 p.m. That's okay with me. Having said that, what are you going to do? You're going to
It's
worry
Tim's
about the
last show.
Cowboys? I'm sorry. Matt Patricia is so potent right now. The last Patricia that made such a difference was Patty Hearst when she got kidnapped by the Symbionese Liberation Army. All right. Since then, no Patricia has made, except for Patricia Neal, has made any difference more than he did. He's terrific.
That's a deep reference.
I know.
Who was the
very
Monday-
deep.
Who was the failed comedian on Monday Night Football?
Dennis Miller.
Miller.
I am the king of esoterica.
Where are we? We're at
Bucks Bears.
Bucks
Bucks Bears.
Bucks Bears. Who gets it?
Trubisky, Cohen, and Howard. Sounds like a law firm. It is.
Plays like a law firm.
Yeah, but it's probably enough.
Dirty.
It's probably enough to get them through against the Bucks. I was not. I mean, I was not as impressed by the comeback that the Bucks mounted yesterday as a lot of people were, because you don't have to come back from that far behind if you don't screw up tragically. Fits tragically, if you will.
It's tragic. That's
Tragic.
my trademark.
The pick six was terrible, and for the defense, you're going to have Mack and Raquan Smith coming after Fitzpatrick. God bless him; he's a feisty old man, but I don't think he's going to stand up against that kind of pressure.
He went to
I
Holland.
actually like the Bears in this one.
I'm impressed with the Bucks offense, not so much their defense. Fitztragic was consistently harassed, and that's going to be an issue with the Bears because the Bears can certainly, especially with Khalil Mack, put the pressure on him. But the speed on that team, very fast. If Fitzpatrick has a couple seconds to throw a couple bubble screens or whatever and get out of it, I'm taking their offense over the Bears' offense. That's the only reason I'm taking Tampa Bay.
Douglas uniforms in pro football.
Yeah,
If the line can't protect the giant beard, it'd be #MeToo for him as well. Another quarterback smashed into the turf and forgotten. But if, like you said, he gets the time to throw it, I think you're going to see the Bucks prevail.
They still scored
Bucks
a
by
lot of points. They just don't have a
6.5.
defense. Yeah.
All right, Bengals at Falcons, and a lot of this depends on A.J. Green and whether he's healthy or not, because as Bridgewater's finest pointed out, the Falcons' defense has a lot of problems right now.
This just in.
And added to that, they just lost their other safety. So we got Keanu Neal's out, and now Allen's out. So what do we got?
I'm the sound effects coordinator. Our sound guy, Pete's over in the corner.
Pete Macaluso, fresh off a stint at the
Beer
Rahway Women's Correctional Facility.
beer pourer and sound effects coordinator. He's our one-man laugh track.
Took a full body search to realize he was in the wrong place.
Anyway, I am going to take the Bengals to be able to move the ball again, assuming A.J. Green is healthy, against a weakened Falcons defense, especially their secondary. I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah, I don't know. The Falcons were a breeze touchdown away from winning, and they just have the more prolific offense. And is Devontae Freeman back yet? I don't know yet. And how big a deal is it that Ricardo Allen is out for the season for Atlanta? I honestly...
With Neal also out.
Yeah, but is Allen that big a deal? I don't follow the Falcons, so I couldn't tell you. But I think they have enough to win here. The Bengals, this is their second road game against the NFC team in the South, and that's hard to duplicate. They lost last week. They're losing this week.
Tim, break the tie for us.
Large cats versus fierce birds. That's a tough one. When I was a kid, my cat used to kill every bird that came in within 20 feet of the house. Going with the Bengals.
What was your cat's name?
Tiger. Kid you not.
Boy, that's inventive.
Hey, what do we got next?
We got a bird
fight!
Seattle at the winless Cardinals. Breakable Sam Bradford's career seems to be over.
Jesus.
A lot of people die out in the desert, and Bradford seems to have done that.
In the desert, you don't remember your name.
Seattle has a lot of turmoil going on right now, but talent-wise, they, especially at quarterback, I got to go with Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. Good luck to Josh Rosen. He may have a great career, but I'm going to wait and see before I start picking him.
Yeah, I think he was the least ready of the quarterbacks that came out in the first round there. I don't believe in Arizona at all. But he's on a team that is literally bereft of talent. There's
Poor Larry Fitzgerald.
Poor Josh Rosen. Anyway,
Dear
Cardinals
Larry.
have almost the basement as opposed to the Rams. They have almost the basement of every category in offense and defense. And quite frankly, I think Ocean Birds beat the land bird. So I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, it's hard to kick somebody when they're down, but since it's the Cardinals and it's fun, I would say absolutely Seattle.
I mean, who plays in a desert, baby?
Yeah, exactly that. And the other day, I was at the Cardinals' home office, and they were putting Rosen's name on a door with a desk inside there. He's already ready for the front office. So, Requiem in pace, Mr. Rosen. Have a nice day.
Good
You're
luck.
done.
Browns, Raiders.
This one's actually pretty easy. The Browns.
Now it's a game.
Browns were a couple of bad kicks away from being 3-0, which would just the world would implode if the Browns were 3-0. If you watch that game, Mayfield came in and it was like a whole different team was on there. I can't remember when they injected 100 cc's of Mayfield into them, and all of a sudden their heart started beating again. I can't remember when a changing quarterback was that it made that big of a difference that quickly. It was unbelievable to see what he did.
Yeah.
So I see no reason why I wouldn't take the Browns to crush the Raiders in this one.
I'm taking them back to back here. We both picked them last week, and the Raiders imploded in the fourth quarter as they've been doing every game this season thus far against Miami. Mayfield pumped life into this team. However, Lynch was punching Dolphins around like rag dolls, but his gains weren't really enough to win the game. I'm going to ride the Browns, who might have more confidence than any team right now.
I'm going to do something I've never done before and predict the Browns win a football game.
Well,
Yes.
it is the end of the world.
It is. Next thing you know, giraffes will fly. And taxes will go down.
Saints at Giants, and this one's a lot tougher than I would have thought. I honestly have both teams crossed out. I have reasons why the Giants could win this game.
It's true, he does.
But I have decided that the Saints have more talent on offense and that the Giants will not be able to keep up. Michael Thomas is about to break the career receptions record in one season. And Alvin Kamara, they get him the ball in all sorts of different ways. Drew Brees just makes the right decisions. That little mug just set the completions record. His career is, you just want to go hug the little guy. His career is a remarkable, I know you're all sad about it, but there's nothing not to like about it.
Well said.
When you look for good things in the NFL, Drew Brees is one of the first places you have to turn and go, this guy has done everything. He's a pure pro, great career, not the biggest, 6'6", runs a 4.240 kind of guy. God bless that little Drew Brees. I'm picking him over the Giants.
But they have the third worst defense in the NFL as usual.
That D is killing them again.
Come on, the Giants surprised with a solid. And did you see the guys not tackle Brees at the 5 on that overtime drive? They were going to maul him, and then both
spin move, baby.
Spin move my ass. He stood there waiting to get killed.
It was a beautiful spin move.
But this game is outside. It's little Drew Brees outside. The Saints never were a great outdoor team. Let's just say Manning, Barkley, Shepard, and OBJ can take it to the 30th ranked defense. Giants.
Well, it all depends if Flowers is playing, because I haven't seen a turnstile like that since that MTA station on 76th and 4th.
That was my joke last week.
Was it really?
You should watch the show.
I should have watched the show. I should have been on the show. Oh, don't you hate it when you go to a party and someone else is wearing the same gown as you?
Happens
I'll
every
tell you.
Saturday.
I know. I'll tell you. No, but I just think the guy's a putz, and they should bench him forever. You know, they should put him down.
Oh, I don't
right
think
next,
he's going to see the field again.
that lump near the 10-yard line that everyone says is Jimmy Hoffa.
It's
they
not
should put
like
him right next to it.
It's not like Wheeler went out there and dominated. He gave up 3 sacks.
Anywho.
Yeah,
You don't have time to throw the ball ain't getting
No,
thrown.
I
You
agree.
can't throw the
Yeah.
ball. You can't win the game.
Eli could have all day against that defense to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Niners, Chargers. This is not even a game anymore. Garoppolo is done for the season. Chargers were able to keep pace with the Lambs, but the Niners' season disappeared. It's over. I don't even think this is close. Rivers and company are going to blow them away.
And it was a really bizarre, awkward step. Like, was he trying to make a last-second cut? Go the hell out of bounds. The NFL is going way out of its way to protect quarterbacks, and Garoppolo is going to go like
Untouched.
take
Blows
on
out
a
his name.
safety.
How do you protect a quarterback from himself?
But he
Bench
was going to go like
Finger
take
cuffs.
on the safety. I can't figure that out. So they're down to C.J. Beathard going against his dad's old team, and yeah, the Chargers get a win
Not
here.
even close.
Well, you know, it's funny because the 49ers tried to get their money back from the Patriots. They even had the receipt. Patriots said, sorry, as is sale. All sales final.
Your 30-day warranty has
It's way
expired.
expired, you know. Yeah, there's just no way the Chargers are going to beat the crap out of the Niners.
What do we got? Ravens at Steelers. Go
Black
ahead,
and
Stu,
blue.
'cause
Black and blue.
I can't figure this one out.
This is what these two teams leave with the field with, black and blue. Ravens dashed the hopes of the Colorado Rocky Mountain Highs with a big win. Steelers were bouncing all over the Bucks and Tampa, but their offense came back to life. The last drive of the Steelers last night, Connors looked almost unstoppable. He was just gashing Tampa Bay, and they're all going Le'Veon who, and they're thinking Le'Veon Helms, which is really Levin Helms from the band. But I digress. Anyway, if the Steelers play like they did last night, I can't see the Ravens beating them. I am taking your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, see, run game is so important, and like in this era where like defensive backs aren't allowed to do anything, and we can't tackle a quarterback, everybody goes to the passing game. But James Conner finished that game off. Adrian Peterson was a huge point.
Peterson was awesome.
You know, the Rams with Gurley, teams that can run the ball, especially between the tackles late, win games. They close things out.
Yeah.
When you
No strategery there. It's just
you got 4 minutes left, and you just gotta burn their timeouts. You hand the ball to Connor, and he does that. So now the Steelers are actually looking around to figure out where to get rid of Le'Veon Bell, which is a remarkable. It's remarkable that a guy that talented is sitting out right now when teams need running backs desperately.
nobody's calling him.
You can certainly name. I'm sure people are making inquiries.
All right, the Jets. Fireman
The
Ed's
Jets,
on the phone.
the
He
Lions.
wants back in.
There's a lot of teams that could use a. There are people that are talking about the Dolphins even needing them.
I don't want him.
I don't know what to make out of the revamped Ravens with their new wide receivers and Flacco with a little pressure behind him coming up big. I actually like the Ravens to go on the road. I was not impressed by the Steelers in the second half, and I'm taking the Ravens.
You would.
I did. I just did right there.
They're at Steelers.
At Steelers.
At Steelers.
They call it Heinz Field because they're always playing catch-up.
Ah!
Try the veal up, Tim all week.
Ah.
I think the Steelers are tired. I think they have turmoil in their clubhouse. I think they don't know which end of the football is round. The Ravens with Flacco, who's I think just a few biscuits older than Tom Brady. I think he's gonna go in there and he's gonna shock them. Right?
All right. 2 Ravens,
By
1
5.
Steeler.
By 5.
By 5.
Last guy with the football wins the game.
All right, so we end with Kansas City at Denver, and I got to tell you, this one's easy for me. The Chiefs are just a freaking juggernaut on offense. Case Keenum, as much as I root for him, has been holding on to the ball a little bit too long and taking hits and not making reads that he needs to make. The idea here is Von Miller against Patrick Mahomes, but I don't really think it comes down to that. I think it comes down to Denver's secondary trying to hang with the kind of speed that KC throws out there with Hill and Watkins and Kelsey et al. I'm taking KC on the road to win this one.
Yeah, look, their defense isn't going to win any NFL awards at the end of the season here, but good Lord, the speed on this team is just frantically good. 9 different players have caught touchdown passes from Mahomes, and I think there's a couple fans that are coming out this Sunday just to catch a couple more to bump up the numbers. Who do you cover on that team? Who do you cover on the Chiefs? You can't. If you cover Kelsey, you're leaving everybody else open. If you cover Hunt, you're leaving everyone else open. You can't cover this team. The hot dog guy could be the next man up and catch a touchdown there. Keenum's been unimpressive in Denver. Andy Reid knew something, though. He knew something when he got rid of Alex Smith and keeping Mahomes. The rest of us might have been going, what the hell are you doing? But he sure as shit knew something. And
how come he didn't know it last year?
He still had Alex Smith there, right?
I hear you. I like Alex Smith,
Yeah,
but I mean, holy
for Reid.
crap.
Well, maybe he kept him in there so he could get some value and then put Mahomes in.
Yeah.
Great
Okay.
call. Andy Reid, brilliant.
That's the first time Stu's ever
It is
said
literally
that.
that was a brilliant move. Well
Right now,
done.
Andy
That's what
Reid's
happens.
head just
Now don't swallow your
grew
stash.
one small size.
Tim, what do you like?
I hate to beat a dead horse, but it's evident that the Broncos are irretrievably screwed up. Irrefutably.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. The thing is the Chiefs, never seen them play like this before. They're madmen. And they're going to go in there and they're going to beat the crap out of them.
And then they're going to lose in the playoffs, like they always do.
To the Patriots.
They're the Chiefs. Ding, ding.
It's a beautiful
Sound guy.
thing.
Good cue.
That's the end of the round. That's electric football.
That's week 4. Tim, Stu, Pete, Steve, Joe Marchese walked in the
Joe
room.
Marchese
Joe
on the
Marchese.
bell.
Every time you hear a bell, the Dolphins lose a player. See you next week.